All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast. Now, with the start of the new NFL season, literally just hours away at this point, I want to take this time out to talk about some coaches that could be on the hot seat for the upcoming season. I want to start with Robert Saleh with the New York Jets. And in 3 seasons as the head coach of the Jets, Saleh's record is just 18 and 33. He has never had a winning record, which includes going 7 and 10 in each of the last 2 years. Now, the expectations for the Jets last year, of course, with the arrival of Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. And of course, we know what happened on the Jets' first offensive drive of the season. Rodgers was lost for the season with that Achilles injury. And of course, the Jets' offense subsequently suffered. So we've basically seen a scenario where Woody Johnson, the Jets team owners, basically put everybody on notices. That includes Robert Saleh and the general manager, Joe Douglas. I mean, you look at the Jets right now, they have not had a winning record since 2015. The Jets have not made the playoffs since 2010. Okay, this is a team, this is a fan base that is long overdue for a postseason appearance, especially even now in the expanded playoff in the National Football League. So I definitely have to say that this is truly a make or break year for Robert Saleh. Uh, I'm going to throw a name out there. Nick Sirianni with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I mean, you look at this guy, he's 34 and 17 in 3 years with the Eagles. And one would think that Sirianni's job, would be safe, but that might not be the case. I mean, you heard rumors, okay, of issues with Sirianni last year. And to me, from the outside looking in, you get to see that the Eagles just simply lacked chemistry. They started off strong last year, stumbled down the stretch, quit in their wild card loss to the Tampa Bay Bucks. And it's one of those we've seen a lot of changes to this Eagle staff this year. New offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, some new players coming in, some old players going out. You name it. Bottom line is the success has been there on the field for Sirianni. 3 postseason appearances, an NFC championship on his resume in 2022. But I really do think this Eagles team is going to rebound. I think they're going to put last year behind them. And I think this is going to be a very fun and exciting team to watch this year. So I think Nick Sirianni should be okay. Another guy for me to watch would be Mike McCarthy in Dallas. And I know one would say, well, McCarthy's going 12 and 5 in each of the last 3 seasons. He absolutely has. Dallas has gotten to the playoffs, but of course, the Cowboys continue to come up short. But those issues are deeper than Mike McCarthy. However, he's in the last year of his deal. And you have to wonder, would this be his last year in Dallas? I still think Dallas has what it takes to be a playoff team. I think at the end of the day, if they do make the playoffs, and I think if they win a game, I think Mike McCarthy's going to be back because we've seen in recent years, Cowboys team owner Jerry Jones has been hesitant to go out there and make changes. I think he's just going to I think Jerry Jones knows more what he wants to do than like anybody in the general public does. He likes to build up the suspense. He likes to treat it like reality TV. He likes the star to be on him and his team. And I think Jerry's going to wait to the 11th hour to get this done. But as long as Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys get to the postseason and possibly win a game, I don't see him get going anywhere. Another guy for me is Matt Eberflus with the Chicago Bears. He's got 2 years under his belt as the head coach in Chicago. He's 10 and 24. We did see the Bears show improvement over the second half of last season to go 7 and 10. But of course, we know that the expectations for the Bears have changed after they took quarterback Caleb Williams with the first overall pick in this past spring's NFL draft. A lot of people are high on the Bears getting to the playoffs. A lot of people are, or some people rather, are saying the Bears could win the NFC North. And I'll tell you like this, anything short of a postseason appearance could mark the end for Eberflus in the Windy City. I look at Dennis Allen with the New Orleans Saints. He's got 2 seasons under his belt in New Orleans. Under him, the Saints are 16 and 18, and of course, zero playoff appearances. That's the big thing. Why? Because we've seen in recent years the NFC South very lackluster. It's been the most winnable division in the NFL in recent years. We saw the Bucks go 8-9 and win it in 2022, while they went 9-8 last season. Now, of course, last year we saw the Saints go out and bring in veteran quarterback Derek Carr. So far, it has not worked out. And I say it from the standpoint that Derek Carr continues to be Derek Carr, but he's not going to be a guy that's really going to elevate the team around him. You got a strong defense in New Orleans, a strong veteran laden defense, which is right up Dennis Allen's alley. But it comes down to the offense. And of course, New Orleans just looked so inconsistent at times. This NFC South, I still think, is going to be a very winnable division here in 2024. But if New Orleans falls short of that, they're probably going to fall short of making the postseason, because I think that the NFC South is once again going to be a one bid division for the NFC playoffs. And when it's all said and done, I don't see Dennis Allen returning for 2025. And then finally, a guy who I talked about last night, and that's Brian Daboll with the New York Giants. And of course, he's got 2 years under his belt with Big Blue. He's 15, 18, and 1 with a trip to the playoffs and a playoff victory. We know that 2023 was difficult for the Giants. A lot of issues with the offense, especially at the quarterback position and on the offensive line. The Giants have made a slew of changes in the offseason, bringing in a new defensive coordinator in Shane Bowen. We know that Dayball is going to be calling the plays, but I'll tell you like this, barring something unforeseen, because the Giants are trying to build this roster. Of course, they have a lot of questions at quarterback, and they still do. Um, Barring something unforeseen, unless the Giants have a very putrid season, do I not see Brian Dayball coming back for 2025. So I think the guys most likely, or who have the most pressure on them this season, I think definitely is Matt Eberflus with the Bears, as well as Robert Saleh. However, I think both of them do enough to keep their jobs, because I think, like I said before, with the Jets, as long as they can keep Aaron Rodgers healthy, they are a playoff team. And I think there's too much talent on this Chicago team for them to take a step back. And I think they're going to build off of the strong finish. They have a very young team, and they brought in some experienced veterans to complement that this offseason as well. But the guy most likely, I think, that's going to be gone this year, I think this is it for Dennis Allen, simply because I don't see the Saints being a playoff team this season. But nonetheless, these are some guys that could be on the hot seat for the upcoming season. Let's see how it plays out in this year's NFL campaign. So, folks, that's going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.